Good morning. It is July 5th, 2022. It's like 7:30 a.m. There's a slight breeze today, so it's pretty nice. I'm gonna go running right now. Yeah, this is kind of how I start my day every single day, with a run. So I'm alone for the rest of the day in Rikuzentakata, so I'm just gonna kind of explore. And I bought my mom a Shiba Inu magnet. Okay, so I was just in the Rikuzentakata library. So right now we are at a viewing point in Rikuzentakata. Okay, so right now I am behind the Iwate Tsunami Memorial Museum in Rikuzentakata, Japan. So I'm not actually allowed to use this selfie stick and record. Inside the actual museum, you're allowed to take photos, but you're not allowed to do like any interview type stuff. So I'm over here. It's a little bit windy out here, but it's pretty nice. Behind me, you can see the Hirota Bay. Yeah, and so kind of I want to talk about what I just kind of learned and what's at this museum. So at least in 2011, March 11th, 2011, a 9.0 earthquake hit the Tohoku region, and it caused a massive tsunami to hit the Sanriku area. So just going through all the information and sifting through it, around 20,000 people were, upwards to 20,000 people were lost in the event, in addition to like thousands of people in the entire Japan region were lost housing and were displaced. What happened was the tsunami came in, and it dealt 13 trillion yen worth of damage to the local areas, including waves coming in, destroying a bunch of infrastructure, including houses, office buildings, all of that. In addition to, when it receded, it took a lot of stuff out too, and there were many power outages and fires after the event. There was, in the entire Japanese area, around 20,000 people lost their lives, in addition to a bunch of people going missing and eventually getting found from either volunteer rescuers, overseas volunteer rescuers, and other people like that. Yeah, so the current city I'm in is Rikuzentakata, and it's where I'm doing my internship. Just going around the area, you can definitely tell that a lot of it is still being rebuilt. A lot of the area is very vacant. You can see the remains of old buildings, and I don't know if I have any footage of that. So hopefully we do. But just in the museum itself, there's a bunch of statistics of what happened during the event. In addition to, they have debris. There's a old fire truck. I think there's a couple signs. There was a little over 2 kilometers worth of beaches and Japanese black pine mangroves and or not mangroves, Japanese pine groves and stuff along the coast. And after the tsunami hit, all of these trees were washed away, except for one, and that's called the miracle pine, and it's over here. So you guys will get to see that in a second. But yeah, just this area is super beautiful, considering the fact that it was hit by a tsunami recently. And hopefully I can kind of show you guys the reconstruction efforts and the efforts to restore this area. Thank you. Okay, so right now we're at one of the fishing ports on the Hiroka Bay, and so we're gonna go to like, I think we're getting kaki. We're like going to like the oyster farms, and we're like lifting them up, and we're seeing how they go. So I'll bring you along. I'm with Futamura-san, Fukuda-san, and Murakami-san. And yeah, so I think we're getting on this boat, and I'm in like a life jacket right now. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. So we're on the boat right now. We're gonna try one of the oysters. Yeah, ball. And just ball. How do I eat it? This one? You can eat from this way? This way? No, this way.どう？小さめのやつよ。おいしい。What kind of taste? 少し味は。いくらみたい。なるほど。はい。すいません。Okay, so I'm outside of the oyster farm right now, and you can hear them. They're like they're taking like they have the oyster like babies on scallop shells, and so they're making sure they're taking the babies off and making sure there's only like a certain amount of oysters on each shell. So when they grow them, they're not overcrowding. So we went out on the water, and on those pallets you can see those giant like ropes with seaweed and oysters on them. So they usually get harvested in May, April-ish. So we kind of missed the time when they're harvesting, and so yeah, we just missed that. But in September, in October, around like that time of year, they go out and they have huge pots with like boiling water in it, and they take the ropes and they put them in that boiling water, and so it kills all the bacteria on the oysters, in addition to like getting rid of all the seaweed you guys saw. So what happens is those oysters get dunked in hot water for like 15 minutes. They don't get cooked all the way though, so they're still alive once they get taken out of the water. And what happens is it stunts the growth of the oysters. So after that hot water treatment happens, the shells stop growing, and so all of the nutrients and all the energy in those oysters instead all get put into like building the meat and developing the flavor inside those oysters. And so yeah, so that happens, and then we kind of went around the rest of the bay. But what we just tried just a second ago were oysters that had like the eggs in it. So I actually never had the opportunity to have oysters, and so those oysters tasted like, so like the salmon roe. They tasted very like salmon roe-esque. How do I say? Yeah, just that very salty, a little sweet umami flavor that kind of came out of those. So those were really good. And so now I have to go back to the office, and I have to go write all of this down so we can put it on the menu for the upcoming festival that we're going to. Bye bye. Okay, Okay, so we just went into a store called CIY. That store was what we like to call way out of my budget. Yeah, so we're gonna go to Uniqlo or something, and then we can go buy stuff there. Okay, goodbye. So we're in like Main Street, Morioka. Is it this one? Like the one this way, or is it this way?
This way.
Okay, so Main Street's there. We should keep driving around and maybe find stores and we can look at shit. Okay, bye.